The Galactic Council chamber fell into stunned silence as Ambassador Leorovin of the Sereni rose from her meditation pod. For 12,000 years, the Sereni had been the galaxy's most revered pacifists, a species so devoted to peace that they had never raised a weapon, never spoken in anger, never even raised their voices above a whisper. Their very presence in the council was considered a blessing, their wisdom sought by civilizations across the stars. They were the living embodiment of harmony. Crystalline forms radiating a calm energy that could soothe even the most violent predator. "Honored Ambassador," said Supreme Chancellor Krex Toth, his voice cautious, "surely you do not intend to—" "We stand with humanity," Leorovin announced. Her melodic voice carried clearly through the vast chamber, despite its gentle tone. The crystalline harmonics of her species' natural communication resonated with unwavering conviction. The chamber erupted. Representatives from 47 star systems began shouting in dozens of languages. War Minister Vakthul of the Dominion slammed his armored fist against the podium. "This is impossible," he roared. "The Sereni do not choose sides. They have maintained neutrality since before most of our species achieved spaceflight." Ambassador Quintel of the Hegemony activated her translation matrix. Her mechanical voice sliced through the noise. "Ambassador Leorovin, with respect, humanity has been declared a hostile species by this council. They refuse to submit to galactic authority. They build weapons that violate 17 interstellar treaties. They showed mercy to our children." Leorovin interrupted, softly. The chamber went dead silent. In 12 millennia of recorded history, no one had ever heard a Sereni interrupt another being. Supreme Chancellor Krex Toth leaned forward. "Explain." Leorovin activated a holographic display. It showed the recent incident at Kepler Station, a remote mining facility where first contact protocols had gone catastrophically wrong. 3 Sereni youngling pods had been caught in the crossfire when Dominion forces attempted to liberate the station from human colonists. "Our children were dying," Leorovin said, her voice steady. 17 minutes of life force remaining. Our own medical ships were 4 hours away. The Dominion forces declared the younglings acceptable casualties and continued their assault. The display shifted. It showed the response from humanity. Captain Sarah Chen of the merchant vessel Wandering Star risked her ship and crew to reach the Sereni younglings. Using human medical technology, primitive by galactic standards, she stabilized them until proper help could arrive. "The humans had every reason to flee," Leorovin said. "They were outnumbered, outgunned. Their ship was damaged. Their cargo held the medicine needed for their own colony's survival. Yet, they stayed." War Minister Vakthul's mandibles clicked in dismissal. "One act of desperation." "Captain Chen emptied her medical supplies," Leorovin continued, ignoring him. "She gave our children the medicine meant for her own people. When we asked why, she said something we have never heard from any other species in this galaxy." The chamber waited. She said, "Because they're kids, and kids don't deserve to die for adult stupidity." Ambassador Quintel's optical sensors flickered. "Surely you cannot base such a momentous decision on one isolated event." "It was not one incident," Leorovin replied. She activated another display. "We have observed humanity for 57 of their years. In that time, we have recorded 2,847 instances of humans risking themselves for beings they had never met, of species they had never encountered, asking nothing in return." The holograms showed a montage: rescue missions, medical aid, disaster relief, all provided freely, often to alien species that viewed humanity as violent or inferior. "You call them violent," Leorovin continued, "yet they are the only species we have encountered who make war in order to create peace. You call them primitive, yet they are the only ones who judge others not by their power or their technology, but by their need for help. Supreme Chancellor Krex Toth's tone turned cold. Ambassador, if the Sereni ally with humanity, you will be considered enemy combatants by this council. Your homeworld will be defended, Leorovin finished calmly, by every human ship in this sector. The chamber fell into stunned silence once more. The Sereni homeworld stood at the junction of three major trade routes. Any conflict there would disrupt all galactic commerce. You would sacrifice 12,000 years of neutrality for these Deathworlders? War Minister Vactal spat, Leorovin's crystalline form shimmered, the Sereni equivalent of a smile. We sacrifice nothing. For the first time in our species' history, we have found beings who share our true values, that all life is precious, that the strong should protect the weak, and that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice. She paused, looking around the chamber. Humanity does not avoid war because they are weak. They avoid war because they understand its true cost. When they must fight, they do not fight for conquest or glory. They fight to protect those who cannot protect themselves. The final image played. It showed the aftermath of the Kepler incident, human ships forming a protective cordon around Sereni medical vessels, holding the line, defending their new allies, even while under fire from Dominion fleets. The galaxy calls them Deathworlders, Leorovin concluded, but we have seen the truth. They are Lifeworlders. Everything they do, everything they build, everything they fight for, it all serves life. Supreme Chancellor Krex Toth said nothing, but in his silence, he knew he had just witnessed the end of an era. The galaxy's most peaceful species had chosen its side, and in doing so, they had changed everything. The Council will recess, he announced heavily. We have much to reconsider. As the chamber emptied, many stole glances at Ambassador Leorovin, who remained still in perfect meditation. Outside the station, human and Sereni ships began arriving together. An impossible alliance, one that would reshape the stars, the most peaceful species in known space, had finally found their warriors. And the warriors, they had found their conscience.